Hey everyone, welcome back to the home of the Pollyanna Nation. It's good to finally be back, and I mean, there's no reason for me to say that other than inconsistency. Sorry for the background noise, by the way, but I've been very inconsistent, and consistency is something that's really big, and just growing, developing as a person overall. So whether that's in the gym, in the eating healthy, or uploading these videos, it's something that is really big and it's gonna help you grow. And with the support of you guys, you're gonna keep me going. You're gonna keep me growing, and I'm gonna help. And obviously, we're gonna grow together. So obviously, from the title, you can tell what we're gonna be talking about. And so I'm sure at some point in your life you've heard about rent-to-own homes, and you've probably asked yourself, "Oh, is it too good to be true?" And you know what they say about things that are too good to be true. They probably aren't. And to be honest, in this case, you're probably right, and I mean you're probably also wrong. And I'll get to explaining that in a little bit. But first, let's find out exactly what a rent-to-own home is. So what a rent-to-home agreement is a deal in which you commit to stay in a property for a certain period of time. And before the time is up, for the lease is up, you have the option to buy. Now, this usually comes in two different kinds of forms. The first being the lease purchase agreement, and the second is the option to buy. Now, those are just two different technical terms, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But this is a very viable option for someone who probably doesn't have the credit, to finance the home at first, the mortgage. And the second is maybe they don't have the cash down payment, so they might just need a few years just to get themselves right in order to purchase their first home. And in the Pollyanna Nation, we're not afraid. We're not going to shy away from anything. This is just another hurdle in becoming successful, and we're gonna jump right over it. Now, as great as this all sounds, there's always someone trying to swindle other people and scam other people, hardworking people, out of their money.
Swiper no swiping. Swiper no swiping. Swiper no swiping.
Oh man.
And if you think they're gonna miss out on this opportunity, you're sadly mistaken. But in this video, I just want to go ahead and talk to you about why you shouldn't shy away from this opportunity of this method of home buying, and just different ways of getting started, what to look out for, precautions on how to get started, different steps that you could take so that you could become a brand new homeowner. Okay, so realistically, there are two ideal situations when you would want to use the rent-to-own option. The first being that it is a government program. And that's because for the most part, the regular rent-to-own programs do come with a lot of risk. But with the government involved with the rent-to-own program, those risks are greatly reduced. So an example of how that would get done is the government go ahead and works with financial institutions who have foreclosure properties. They'll go ahead and be able to offer programs like that for people who are in need. The only thing is, since they are limiting a lot of those risk factors, it is the standards to get approved are a lot higher, and it's harder to get in. But if you do get approved, then you're on your way to owning your first home. Now, the second reason that you should consider following through with this method of buying a home is if you have a lease option purchase versus a lease purchase option. Now, the difference is, obviously the lease option, at the end of it, you have the option to buy. And with the lease purchase, you're legally obligated to purchase at the end of the lease. Now, if you're not ready to purchase a home when you enter this contract, it's very possible that you're not going to be ready at the end. So that's why you would want to shoot for a lease option, because at least you won't have to legally be obligated to purchase that home. And the only thing you would forfeit is like your premiums and all the rent that you paid, and it wouldn't go towards the mortgage. But it's better than you being forced to have to purchase that home and you're still not ready. You might still need just a few more years. And here in the Pollyanna Nation, that's all right. We're still going to support you, and we're still going to keep on pushing, and we're going to keep on thriving. And if it takes 5-10 years, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, at least you'll be able to say that you had your own home. So now that we have a decent understanding of the process of buying a home with the rent-to-home agreement, the next step is, to do your research the same way that you would do research similarly with the traditional home style. You might even have to do twice or three times as much research with this process. And as tedious as it might all sound, it's okay, because in the end of the day, you're going to be able to say that you have your own home. And it's up to you whether you had poor budgeting, or maybe you just, life has just been throwing a bunch of stuff your way.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What?
I have a description down below where you could go ahead and check how to make a Google spreadsheet, and you could start working on your budgeting so that you could start the process of growing yourself and developing. And that's what we're all about here. So in this channel, we're all about not giving up. We're all about working hard. And if that just means that you have to do some extra research, then so be it. If you truly want to own your own home, then this is a no-brainer. Unlike those people who are just born talented and never really had to work hard for anything in their life, we're not afraid here in the Pollyanna Nation. We're not afraid to get some elbow grease, But in the end of the day, there's still always going to be those people who want to take the easy route, if you know what I mean. Scammers and people, and just shady people overall. They might be the true owner, but they're just shady. We're going to talk about a few things to look out for when encountering these people, and how to prevent from getting in a sticky situation. So for example, what might happen is you might be dealing with someone trying to purchase the property. They might not even be the true owner of the property. They're trying to just make a quick buck off of you. Or you might be dealing with the real property owner, but they probably haven't been paying the taxes on it, so they might have tax liens out on it. So they're over there accepting all your payments, and turns out the house is about to go in foreclosure, and nobody's gonna own it except the bank. So you got to do your research, like I was saying. Or other times you might, the owner might be good. They might be paying the property taxes, but they just did a cosmetic fix on the house, and they didn't actually, you're going to be the one stuck doing all the fixing around the house, the roof, the everything. So, if you want to avoid that, you could bring out a contractor just to inspect the house, make sure everything is good. And if you're really that lazy that, you don't want to be a hardworking person, you don't want to be part of the Pollyanna Nation, that's totally fine. We respect that. But what you could do is always hire a professional, get contractors, get a real estate agent, just to make sure everything is checked out. But if you want to work hard and you want to do stuff on your own and you want to be independent, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to go the extra mile. And that's what we're here. That's what we're working towards. If you want to go ahead and do your savings and protect yourself, first thing you're going to want to do is ensure that the person that you're meeting with or signing the contract with is either actually has total authority or is a legal representative. And I mean, that should just go without saying. So to ensure that the person who's signing this contract with you is actually allowed to sell to you. The next thing to do is read over the contract for due dates, option fees, rent payments, and how the purchase price is going to be determined, how you intend to use the option. Because for instance, sometimes they might say that you have to put it in writing that you're going to purchase the home right before you're ready to actually purchase it. Other little things you might want to look for is if pets are allowed. And then, this is another big one, is you want to make sure, you want to know who is responsible for maintenance of the actual property. And then just other little hidden details in the contract. Now, once you go over the contract and, all of that, another big thing to do is actually look up the property and check if there's any financial problems with the home. Perhaps there's a tax lien out on it. Obviously, the longer that the person has had the property, the better, because there's more equity. And another thing is, I forgot to mention, when you're reading up on the contract, make sure that you actually read the fine print, because sometimes they might put in there, even a legit seller, they might put in there that if you missed one payment, then you forfeit your right to purchase the home. And that could be with a legit seller. So, you just want to watch your back, have a professional read the contract if you can do it yourself. And that's all right. Having help, everyone needs help. And that's okay if you need the help of a professional. But as long as you're doing your due diligence and you're actually reading up on these people and you're following through, it's best to, put yourself in the best position for safety, precaution, and for success. So who doesn't want to be successful? One way to go ahead and prevent those tax liens, or making sure that there are no tax liens to ever come in the future. Maybe there wasn't no tax liens in the beginning, but maybe as you're going through the years of doing the option to buy, maybe the homeowner wasn't able to afford it anymore. What you could do is have them show you those mortgage payments month to month, month to month, so that you know at the end, when you're ready to actually put the home in your name and you're gonna make that purchase, that everything is up to date. So everything would be nice and ready to go, easy transfer, and you're there you go, and you're set to have your own home. Now that we went over, the rent to home agreement and the option to buy and the lease purchase to buy and all of that, I just hope that you guys are just a little bit more open-minded to the idea of purchasing a home this kind of way. It's not the traditional method, and just because it's not traditional doesn't mean that it's bad or wrong. And if there's one thing to take away from this video, the main thing that I want to carry on throughout the rest of the videos and the future of us growing together is just consistency. Consistency is a huge factor in everything in life. So let's just carry on, Pollyanna Nation. Just go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. Let's build a culture here. And I'm excited to bring the next video for you guys and keep on growing. So see you guys next time.